Nano Saturday, Anna Barcelona bomb game, Omokwa we, Equashe 5-3 against Real Betis. Another good result for Barcelona. If it is Barcelona lose to Real Madrid, El Clasico or La Liga. No? After El Clasico, Barcelona lose to match BM or La Liga. So lose to against Real Madrid or Spain, La Liga. No? Barcelona last 6 games over the Spanish Premier La Liga. Barca winning 6 nina. Enti saa 6 matches no we win ato so no e ka ho bi ana de Barcelona ba bedu sam pempen so omo da top e wo league table ne so. So as it stands now, Barcelona lead Real Madrid 4 points. Which oye Barcelona fan na weni beji because the main competitor for Barcelona this season akwa Real Madrid. Ontimi trust Atletico Madrid for bebre. Enti se Real Madrid dey drop points na Barcelona gain points a plus e de ma Barcelona bobuku. Facing to my friend say Real Betis. Obi a watch Roberts this season be him say omunye bad side. Most especially how omunye well organized abra omu defend. Enti kwanya Barcelona fa so e bia Roberts team nim. How omu stretchy omu, how omu timi di create omu chances no. Na me Barcelona team na me very impressed because team ba kwa ne she ed ne pa no. Eye Roberts bobuku. Roberts for a room against Barcelona. Omu decide say ye kosia Barcelona. Na ye targeting ye the pressure eto Barcelona almost central midfield zone no so a eba affect Barcelona bobuku no. So Robert is decided say omo nfa pressure into Barcelona so bebre especially the first 45 minutes. So the first half Robert is decided say omo beko a compact block ebe ye 4-4-2. Sa 4-4-2 no ebe ye Anthony and Hernandez and ebe sha see leading the defensive line for Roberts. You know, more compact block. And the reason why I am a Robert is here, Sadian, say, on person the pressure at to Barcelona and fin for so. Na Barca ain't me and dominate you. And near dear Robert is for the real game. By Ken, all the credit Ebema Barcelona. Anna on the coach Hansi Flick. Omo say Robert is aya Sadian and Pepe Peno. Anna Barcelona decided say. And you be experimenter. Omo be Robert is team because Robert is for no. More numbers centrally. Even Anthony Mumpokro was expect to say, Ombe operate to a wide area no. Anthony Muninem adrift by inside. And yes, Adia yempe kwan bi so na yembie Robert is bobuku nim. And Adia Barcelona decided sombe Hansi Flick experiment to this side sombe yes. So the first thing, Barcelona experiment to mu use ye no, positional flexibility. In football, ye ka positional flexibility a kwan players effectively on bet perform our multiple roles any position. So at the time Barcelona who say Robert is bobuku no use a compact block 4-4-2 no and Barcelona decided say the first experiment yen use positional flexibility after the players na shall say omo multiple positions multiple roles na enfembri Robert is for any so after some positional flexibility no Barcelona decided say team no Betis for no abe Dawson e won finfin dia e de ne be ya ye de be bi o team nim and Barcelona decided say Ombe use a wide side triangular shape. So each side of the wide area ni nyina no, unse Barcelona form a triangle ho. And ade omo ye ne say the fullbacks of Barcelona and a Baudi and a branch friend Kunde no. Ombe gina wide area ne kese. Then again, ubenya Eric Garcia this time around, every game, especially Saturday game, especially in the first 45 minutes. Oma Eric Garcia stay more central. And a Pedri, Oma ni BM call left kakra. And odi a branch friend Salami Yama emu buba inside. So after the game, Utie de no be a can say yehu Salami Yama operate as a number 10 player. Because mostly Hansi Flick Emma Lami Yama drift by inside kakra time dia no omo form sa triangle no our wide area ne kese and sa wide side triangle na Barcelona for a form ye no emomu bie Robert's team nim afide Barcelona for a progressive na kwa smooth. That's the reason why ehun say Lami Yama operate Yama ni free roll say ono Lami Yama obetima rotate na wetimi switch positions abro nso betimi a control game no the final third e de ama Barcelona bobuko no e ka ho bi ana Barcelona fa so e bie Robert's bobuko dim omo di create a lot of chances. And the third experiment omo ye ne say baby on befa so attacking no omo use right side on more. So majority of Barcelona goals e by ni nyina e free the right side. And so right side on na Kunde, Rooney Badge and Lami Yama. Anytime we have 3 players no on the right side, on making sure say on base ho 3 players no and on creating a lot of chances from the right side. So in football sense, adia Rooney Badge Lamine Yamal ana Kunde ye no omu use the right side dynamism. Sa right side dynamism no omu use in time bia no obehu Lamine Yamal Rooney Badji ana Kunde say omu rotate untimi predict omu. So majority of Barcelona goals no every that side right thing say the experimenter Barcelona for year in AP of omu di create omu chances edinya the needed goals are ebetima Barcelona enya sa 3 maximum points no individual performance no yehu Ferran Torres or about 3 goals and I think say this season or 6 goals in the Barcelona. On air Barcelona for top scorer this season. 13 goals in all competition and getting 3 goals against Real Betis. A good for Abrante Fence Ferran Torres. Obi to say Rooney Badge. Any opportunity in the performance na any bad. She go no share no assist no to me no and the link up play and the movement. Na me very impressed with Rooney Badge and Abrante Fence Pedri. And yes, young control game nem Adi me notice about Pedri game no. Barcelona air press on and lead press no. On some mostly Sanka Rafinha and the lead Barcelona press no. By this time around, Pedri na lead because you say game na Rafinha and Chassis. So the coach na man lead press no was Pedri and omu in year Barca nya 3 points or much Real Madrid move 4 points and the pressure abeto Real Madrid for so. Barcelona jo omu 3 points no. Ne Sunday Madrid betina fie abo against Celta Vigo. Madrid fans including me na your high hope say Paul na Madrid ball ye against Bilbao no. Madrid betima de sa performance na ewo Bernabeu obetimi de abaje 3 points against him friend say Celta Vigo. By Ken ekoji guye. Na ya rehosem asa ye nim gwasesem e de ama Real Madrid bobuko no. Before some e carry Real Madrid asem no. My main credit to Celta Vigo for no. Ball no mo boy no defensively no me well organized than Real Madrid team no. Most especially se omu lusu ball ne pe hwekwan omu players ni nyina no ebe jump forward no mu nyina kwa obia no emmese entu so mu defensive structure no na eye intact na eye very solid and adia ba kwa na me hu se Real Madrid for na omu mese pa no eye obia se Celta Vigo for no push ball manim omu defensive line ball manim a obi obetima ma pinpoint passes any long balls obi to say Arnold na Real Madrid for missing wo game nim because na crosses ne sa long balls e wo say eye pinpoint eye accurate ni na emba entina Vinicius Junior and Abrante friend say Mbappe omo ntimi utilize sa spaces no emu ye den na team friend say Celta Vigo etimi drop deeper this season Real Madrid for struggle against low block teams. Se teams ni decide say on city deep na eya na asum ni ye dene e de ma Real Madrid bobuko ni say on betime utilize and how na Celta Vigo for no etimi prolong possession na omo lose ball ni in 10 times so entertain bi an team friend say Robert is Celta Vigo no more Real Madrid for again so before some criticize Real Madrid team no my member Celta Vigo for na baso omo 3 points on benya omo deserve by kid at the time na 11-11 no na Real Madrid team ni nye time ekwoye 10 against 11 na Real Madrid mpokra ball saying 11-11 because at the time na 11-11 Real Madrid were 11 players Celta Vigo were 11 players no na o share Real Madrid team na Real Madrid for lucky runners na players no aye slow omo run say on betima win ball intem na Real Madrid for lack sa commitment no on the field na omo lack awareness and omo lack the basis chances are hold whereby no omo ntimi finish 4 big chances omo ntimi utilize it seems say Mbappe nyani there goals ni mba and enye de bia na Mbappe so betima hye goal enye de bia no benyani dey enti sa uko check Real Madrid for goal scoring goal scoring chart in distribution na Mbappe was suru bebre dia kan wo fom enti da Mbappe enya ni dey no na is a Real Madrid for final third goals ni ntimi mba at the time na 11-11 na Real Madrid for final third na me nye impressed with it omo do the final third so no mo ye slow movement na nka wasa ye quick netimi on settle opponent no mo ye slow enti time bia na my team friend say Celta Vigo for no etimi regroup mo defensive shape no mo timi hyesa enti the first side kwye 11-11 de ken na enkoyi be kwye 10 against 11 no na Real Madrid fa shase so mo rane na ni bre no mo de bobo no so ade amani anje won no
come here de se na nya ni bre se na wo mo huro mo na supporters ni huro mo na wan we
by energy na mo de ball 10 against 11 no na 11-11 na nyi be say at the time na 11 against 11 no na Real Madrid be slow na attitude ni e poor but mo ball numerical disadvantage na omo pekate no na won se players na ni bre no asase se eba and obi o hwe game ni bi ehun sade no and kid at the time a military was so free no Real Madrid for elusu sa leadership quality no and na omo nye well organized at the time a military will be able no e free no and Militao free no Alonso so am Real Madrid situation no after the when to me adjust Real Madrid 4 block no and the time you are not Real Madrid team here disjointed then again Real Madrid for discipline e collapse o team no ken
say Tchouaméni asaka no
onim say Madrid di red card miensa yellow card 7 including the coach na emotionally o mentimi an control mo ho and reckless tackles
I don't know some team say referees is yomo
mentiasie yes ebetima ba say referees how
and not referee me about incident ba community bi wa wanye fair to Madrid
no,
but yakwa say Madrid team na fan say referees no
say sade na show mu
referees is yomo
sade na show mu team and which bad and a moment me emotional moment me an control mo ho no
you are no Rodrigo kra won kasa
the Rodrigo koye Hendrick ono no onya bimbo otibent wasa akodi record
and they send no send you one won't
they say the bench no nya metra ho so kin media Alonso entoto nyoma yi by in some ankofo taika say Jude ne adagule bobo mu akin enkoye no enura me nya abotre hwe saade ne pa eno nim problem these are good individual talents Jude a very good player Abrante friend say adagule a very good player but problem a woman say omo nyina esi akan aboma omo nyina person mo operate with the same area
Nanye Jabi Alonso coach Ben Becca so the adagule and Jude play the same position
so problem in a roles and spacing a space omo nyina ba obi apese how space obi apese ofa ho obi apese operate between the lines obi apese ye behind the striker and to tell you na ekokabom na ha Real Madrid team no sanyo man sesa pressure ba beto Alonso so Arsenal I drop 3 points pressure Arsenal
Aston Villa for Belgium league na
now omo form omo wom no
you know Emery no Arsenal for Anderson o my no boni ana me pese me hu Arsenal for the palm no kwa me oni omo issues wana I say the Arsenal the oni omo shia dia omo kopa na chewe look at say last you be on am Manji league no
odi omo enu ni odi omo ebeleche or you su Abrante fences will be Mendy Declan Rice na Martin Odegaard I know this 6 players say Juno so
oh you good coach oh yeah how does it na Aston Villa Chelsea so say Estabayo ensef ayi na ateko kakra say asem nka ho asem ateko ah oyakoda o twepanyin dia oya de ohia oyakoda enye sa na say wom okay usa de
Kwame Madrid ni enya modan because me ntiase you say ma complain sa say Mbappe any Vini omuntimi mbombo omumbombo issues afa de ye wie ya akwakodu Jude Bellingham any other goal say
but City man Madrid ya na just say musumu team ne nyew Madrid
and some na cost Madrid no Kwame enra e can 10 minutes mo players na dwen show mu trimu nyina ni say ade na nya jigo ayenye ma supporters ni hu say referee na isisi yen that was the plan when one say ade na nkoyie inti yen shada ma supporters ni hu say referee na mpay asam ye wi Jabi Alonso say he was surprised to say the players no 10 against 11, not a more bubble. And also, who said they played well because they were running. 1, 2, they were working hard. Also, the entire who ye some Madrid air ball and say Madrid were running well and working hard with 10 plays. Not just say via 11 in a time no more in another boys were just walking on the pitch. I no cray, and I say no cray. A pure facts. Emra, 62nd minute, more mushe game no. Camera be to Jabi Alonso so. Na ni buefo na oti why ni nsa ni say boys no omonko press. He was angry ultimately say coach na dwa hwe screens no so na hwe Jabi Alonso. Na hwe be bia Madrid players ni nyina egu. Ya sham 1-0. Jabi Alonso na o hwe ase wa otia eye ni nsa say omo ye den. Muntumi kan ko press ya che say obi enfo bi akra. When an central for be near Bia more Spain to say Jabi Alonso is losing the dressing room because boys no okasa diomo pen on your park and so. That is why people are in fact people are assuming say Ebia Sasanet dia, maybe he's losing the dressing room. Because clearly, coach ne pesa boys do Trumika, they are not running. And no problem no. And you may see what Carlo Ancelotti time. Bibian Sasayo. Madrid de Bobola. Carlo Ancelotti first 20 minutes they seem to be pressing. After 20 minutes they be biajegu. After Carlo Ancelotti de obeke biankwada yifi no ojinawo na ohyo mu de no omanage o mun kakra and Xabi Alonso ye starting season no obeka sa Madrid pressing game no ye be bought throughout the season. Ya mbabo Madrid abaso ha say de omo press well. And then all of a sudden after the press na asanso atiko. Under Carlo Ancelotti, Madrid the Bobola. Ye drew any more, Obien Piabon and Makele and Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. on Bayer Magic. Madrid didn't want that. They wanted team play. And then, and Yakofa Xabi Alonso said, yeah, but what total football ni be? Still, Yem passable on Makele and Mbappe and Vini, and let's watch what they do. And then Carlo Ancelotti, we kept on complaining and say, Madrid Bono, a Tibu Kutua, and Omanyame. Madrid said, we don't want that. Still, Tibu Kutua and Real Madrid in Yame. Into Niemana, Madrid wanted to move out from Carlo Ancelotti mu time. Now Madrid for Emenya control of games, you know. Sa control no, still anywhere. That is where the problem is. Into boys, you know, Madrid supporters, you know, RMTV. Instead of them to talk about the game, they are going to talk about officiating in Tienfankoye. But the reality is that boys need be this one with the reaction of Xabi Alonso time of Ranga Sekoni red card. He was angry. Who your body be more? What made that game anymore? Now we could do red card. Look at the attitude of the place. Alvaro Carrera said, "Diano, ye cha Aurelien Tchouameni 9-10 minutes and referee did 5 minutes to so Real Madrid compare Kati." And ye cha Tchouameni. And on foul ball, no, and on passing ball, and the Alvaro Carrera, the coach is referee say, for ball to go because who the ball in Benin and Sana Hobebo. And Alvaro Carrera, the Wafu, and on Tonensa twice. And said referee ban what the yellow card at the man, or the yellow card, the man still. Now, or Casache referee, and a man command is a red card. Let's do everything to show the world, say, yes, CCA. Oh, Ken says, "Yeah, bumpire. Xabi Alonso, no, you're careful. Real Madrid, o makes me be catch or say, ye tawichi, adia betting common bit me assasa. The only thing that will keep Xabi Alonso, Nejuma, a results, be bien you will be. As I say, results neba, whichever ways results, no, it's in fact, whether he likes it or not, we can be. Starting with the Manchester City, the Anocradie. Me person with the bad judge, and someone you fair to him. Moman Alaves game, no, near Hardy. Sama. As some of the Bessie. Because Madrid were better. We have squad a Madrid that top place a chain. Hans Flick, where do you Hans Flick here? Now, what can Raul Asensio? Asensio, no, Sao Raul Asensio, or Bass and Corbo. In Corbo. And as slots and Muhammad Salah and common Ken. Me follow issue ni pa. Na oka we story no. O se meeting na koswe wie. Na it was important to know. And again, some information we are na ehia ye pa. Mesra mo. Anna slots or your head coach or your manager with Liverpool. Come we me kai 1 year ago minimum this an common be pay. Say enkane England what bawa yo manager what you man say who coach you know who in charge of player decisions transfers who power what transfers so but say enyama s coaches are who do a year for my banning no oba yes say you as the head coach you are not the manager then just say 2 years now no ya gidi free winsem Jürgen Klopp. He was the manager of Liverpool. Timer Julian Ward, almost sporting director, A free one. Jürgen Klopp chose Jorge Schmack from Wolfsburg, almost sporting director and a sporting director with Liverpool. Senya Yagina, call be sporting director with Liverpool. But what I say? Inti Jurgen Klopp start to me no one no person mo jifi ni nsem kakra. Enu nti ene ye fa ana slot omo ye the head coach not the manager. Inti to me na Jurgen Klopp e wo no. Say start to me dodo ana anu aba be di Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards wo me patron ti ase wo. Inti Jurgen Klopp was the manager, Anna Slot is the head coach. I mean, one example. Thomas Tuchel. Chelsea. He was the manager until Todd Bowley Mubaya. Omuko from sporting directors by no say to me na enkanina wono. Yen new structure no enter sa will make you the head coach. There is a 2 minute check a credit finish him. And no tokwa and on him penyifo no kon ya adwuma no ojatu wono. Enzo Maresca onye manager with Chelsea or the head coach of the team. Iti ni tumi no dodwana or Lawrence Stewart wo dodwana or Paul Stanley wo me patcho san enso sua no se wo a eboa. I to say Jose Mourinho call Real Madrid. Na Real Madrid sporting director na efe no Jorge Valdano o tumi pa wo bobo ni bi pen. Jose call you say me a manager with England. Spain in Yemen, he became a manager. Omo pamo Valdano. Ebenya tumi ni bebre. Inti unsa susunyana eboa. Se Jurgen Klopp last year and Mo Salah incidents this year. Sporting director omem. What can I say last year? Jurgen Klopp ni Mohamed Salah kontokwa. What is that meeting ni koya koju board level? They solved it because Jurgen was the manager. But wait, Anna Slot going to me from Mo Salah and question them and solve this case. Who your head coach? Into 2 minutes. Kakra so was sporting directors so enunti na kwesiada ene ye na no pay meetings akoso a o take decision no. And Slot was part of the meeting. The sporting director Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards, mo meeting on ye again. Now, this is it. Say I think the best decision is Salah engineer chire kakra. No weekend on my ball or ball we no beko AFCON no akwaba okoba he will still play for Liverpool. Tieni. One when here the emotions be taking decisions bia. Ebeha. Hwe we manager of any institution na yemfa emotions in taking decision. Se Liverpool for the ebufuo ka se Salah de oye no or hat team nti eja no kwan a Ken. Chese Liverpool for Emma Mohamed Salah loyalty bonus. On fancha omu Liverpool for betua loyalty bonus because no contract no afibia or loyalty bonus or oje onka se okọ una uja ne kwan se obeja ne kwan a esese wutua ne loyalty bonus ne de ma no. Now imagine say wetua loyalty bonus e wie e de ama no na onko ne Saudi Arabia wo wie a you also need replacement for Mohamed Salah. Why na kwa replace no January. Why now to player the about January or be replacing Mohamed Salah? So it makes a lot of sense. He said, "Dear Juno, I was some more exercising emotional intelligence kakra. Abotre no more for kakra and solve problem until summer. No me take a decision because a bedroom summer no. When I sure say be a bedroom summer krana and a slot that so. In any case, yenra case in the kakra ken. Dear Dinkai, me am see last year. Makuma mu pa de na nkanye se Mohamed Salah tina Liverpool because me experience me wo ascension training me say footballing fans me dem hu se mu bi ye no ehye yenum an ye kai o ehye yenum a na ye kai senye sa de Messi eye de ma Barcelona show Messi he's equals to Barcelona. And so dum pempenso bia Laporte peso oja ne kwan e ko ba sa Messi on the sikanin nyina won ho but esa we cannot grow, we need to move Messi out. Supporters are Messi abom of Barcelona, some of them came after Lionel Messi. Footballing fans yankai esi nu wan e kai senye sa Ronaldo edu level no obefi Real Madrid then of course oh onko no cry can be. Yabasi a grown quadano. Ronaldo Nisika or Jene Sorodo the Debbie Florentino Perez and yeah crank onje balondo. Look at all these things were said. Sanity. Now Adam Refi say supporters need be support say Ten Hag say Ronaldo no beko on free Manchester United because so we cannot develop Mason Green with Marcus Rashford. Ronaldo and Tina Rashford into me and grew. Didn't they say all these things? Footballing fans, Sani is to my city. Into Makume Mpadi. Baby a Salah drew ya no ka was so jahoko. Nka wen nyina ma. But no problem. Ose ne ba enti. E no otena. Ken. Ye ra season ni mu. Ayeko. Clearly Salah say it is a fact that Salah performance above form. But is he the problem of Liverpool? Because the last 3 games here, Mukrama dropping Salah no. First game against West Ham United and Liverpool say, oh, all of a sudden, Yanka. But the last 2 games, Liverpool are bought draw me, you know. Salah more boni be. But the last game against Leeds United, one more boni be. It's one more no. Someone says Salah is the problem. One more boni be. Yet the problem of Liverpool still remains.
Okay.
Inti say by performance na coach ne pese ye nyina ye hu say enu nti ne wa drop Salah performance, it is better than some of the players that Ebobo Liverpool and now first 11 coach no gusu Ebobo Konate. Afi was sakra chain players ni nyina enso so coach ni first 11 na Konate ka hu bi or options na ai Joe Gomez mo ho obetimi try but you play Konate. Virgil van Dijk afi o hie pa ye first 11 o ka ho na down for sani news and den yo Cody Gapo afi we hie pa enso ye first 11 na o ka ho apo it is how ye Salah ubongu say as a coach no o want me three more because if I am not performing and you drop you no problem but I will not sit on the bench and watch people play bad yet every first 11 they are bad then you become I want to know kasasam no say yeah if you have some scapegoats, then okay, no problem.
Mo Salah.
Oh, you're legend. Treat him right.
I know you're Dawson and Rambo, you know. Biggie, Bramo Kakana, Yan Twasson for free.
Can an Arsenal game no. Na ubisa se Unai Emery, bone ben Arsenal the ayano. Can one former coaches of certain clubs or former footballers of certain teams. I don't mutrim se born na minimbo coaching na minim ye na mu na mama makwanya mama ntena nye de wumi mu amfa mo aboboko no anytime they meet those clubs they always want to prove a point with no disrespect to Mikel Arteta but the status of Unai Emery as a coach and then the experience and the level I was so the change Mikel Arteta there the financial support given to Mikel Arteta say Arsenal nya time and omede say financial support the man Unai Emery in the mind of Unai Emery, or shane hone baby a waye coach na kwa koduna, I am sure. Senat dwene ne say anko betimi perform better. E dey change the Mikel Arteta you know. Until anytime he meets the Arsenal club, he always wants to prove a point. Number 2. The last time, which was the 2023-2024 season, Arsenal was on the verge of winning the Premier League. Team Bakwa ha Arsenal along the line. Ama Arsenal entimi anje was Aston Villa. Oko Emirates ko share Arsenal bobo ko 2-0. It was one of the reasons in here. Arsenal and Team League in this season. No. They have moved on from there. This season, Ken, if you are looking at the performance of Aston Villa, Oman Charles ye. You bought the first 5 matches were league in no. Normal lose 2 and normal draw 3. So far, you bought 15 matches in the Premier League. 15 now, you bought after the poor start to the season, which is the first 5 matches. The last 10. They are the most informed team in the English Premier League. Per the last 10 matches in the English Premier League. Last 10 matches were Premier League. They've only lost to Liverpool. Oman winning 9 out of 10. It's a new team which performance not dying a dino against Arsenal by fluke derby. It's my memo Aston Villa team na baso. They are really doing well. Can problem who Arsenal team ni the strength of the Arsenal team, I share season Nasania Boma Basopa. Say Arsenal team no ekita squad depth. No matter player obepra, they have equal quality of our replaces our player no. That was the strength of the Arsenal team. any individual brilliance, any quality. But it looks like say on the day against Aston Villa, Arsenal team like case no. Number one, players no more pre-planner previously. Omunya equal quality baby shame no. Because 2 seasons ago anayeka, Saliba prior at a point. Arsenal just because of a single player Saliba, Arsenal and team winning the Premier League. But this time around, Sena Saliba prior, you get Christian Mosquera baba be shame obi jinamabo. Gabriel prior, you get him baba be bonase Piero Henkapi. Mienu no mudi nkan start Arsenal na kino mo prior. Omo mienu prior no. The other players Arsenal need do money so. The other two, Henkapi and Mosquera. Mosquera and Baba be pra left with Henkapi. It is a coach no. And found so was scored def no. Injuries no. Let's keep piling. It is a just for the Julian Timber and about the centre back. Timber I know not a centre back with Ajax. But if you change the position of a player for a longer period, or bar Arsenal na yes the position called right back no. Kwaya you first about the central defense, obey to me about the amount. But want to be money here to say the encoder so you're consistent. Our central defense. It is called definitely Arsenal strength. No? Today, a problem at the amount. In the absence of a player, I find Julian Timber the right back position. Look at the poor performance of player. I find Ben White. He was so poor on the day. There was nothing good about the game of Ben White. Individual quality of the Arsenal team. Their most consistent and informed player this season is Declan Rice. But Declan Rice, as we speak on the day, now injury session on 100% fit. Because the last game they played, before playing Aston Villa, Olympic off. It's now man for cramping himself game. Ebiana on to me Mobi. And no opportunity by Jinemu. Eberechi Eze played his worst game for Arsenal against Aston Villa. The performance was very poor. Eze na yehuno. Especially when na Odegaard in ho. And nobody man Arsenal. No, this time around he couldn't perform. And Abia now moving to the left flank. Emma the performance and the call from clearly he plays better in the number 10 role. But the other day, because the captain of the side Odegaard here fit and available no. When you saw na man fa mas na boboko no. And a near man kon kan fa mano. Mikel Merino. At this time around you're born about de bia. So why are Jim Kwadiama Arsenal based on his versatility? The game against Aston Villa, he was off color. It's the strength of the Arsenal team and near the ball about de bia. Some was scored deaf. Now individual brilliance and quality air boy scored deaf no injuries air how that is number one. Number two, players now they be almost standing to the test and rising to the occasion. A boy Arsenal bobo could momunya window on the day yeah who's our players no. And no now Arsenal supporters near Mashasi Shishomo. Because Pep Guardiola and Manchester City so I shall see a crucial gap and Becca 2 points. The last 10 matches in the Premier League can almost win 8. And it's only Pep Guardiola. Premier League do the time we are. And a Pep Guardiola when he wants to win the Premier League. But after Tantimia for this Messi Premier League this season, the supporters won't forgive him. Can Chelsea game the biggest problem for Chelsea this season, and it's just Chelsea needs a number 9. Clearly, the Liam Delap performance we saw against Bournemouth before Baba Pra, no free game anymore. And then the performance we are going to expect from a Chelsea number 9 and after a Chelsea striker. There was nothing good about his game. The performance was very poor. The movement and everything on the field of play. And said that kind of number 9, I'll be not trust to him. Clearly, the Moses Caicedo absence at Chelsea. I am saying this because again, at the back important for football mupa. Quite offer so you build up. Because build up no. And now they take possession of the game. Build up no. And now they control game no. Build up now the executive plan. Will game BMO. So why are Chelsea this season omo the 3-1 build up and nipo baba ball no. A distributed ball near Moises Caicedo. In his absence against Bournemouth. Now you're doing the match Chelsea other players is on meeting me so whoever watched the game very well was going to see this. Omo build up now. Now Enzo Fernandez the beche ball. Maraska saw say on to distribution the year. It's later Enzo Jaye Emma Copa and an beche ball near distribution no. Yet still no one to be any for match Chelsea Bobo no. Aside that, Chelsea defense on the day to me it was poor. Not Chelsea defended too narrow. Born in match Chelsea so no. Not defenders not bomb 18 box in him. Compact defense. Not after players and wide. Alex Jimenez any Antoine Semenyo omunya space our flanks or pick ball on the year the omodi yebia enti I was a coach and make sure say going for obey sade and so ho adwuma na nkwanko affect the Chelsea team adia ba ko na me expect say coach ne be ya wanye I am expecting say in the subsequent games obey say obebo ko Palmer and João Pedro abom Ken João Pedro was the reason in Chelsea answered any skakasi yankoto number 9
Okay.
Club World Cup no goals are not all bono supporters in the technical team ni benya GDA say he's that number 9 on betimi agenedi but you ask yourself say your starting season in the sanity ana there be entesa but entesa no dey intina entesa at the Club World Cup level nipa no na form that partnership ni understanding na ye hwan it was Kopama league ne chance ye no Kopama epra Kopama first game of body match Chelsea was against Bournemouth na odi Kopama odi João Pedro ebem no na me expect say nko beja Kopama wom na odi João Pedro abebo number 9 na ya hwese ye behu sa connection ni biom between the two but unfortunately odi João Pedro mum na sign better sa Kopama me jitum say na Kopama nya fit eye no krepa but hoping say the next game omo mum ye no mum ni en hwese João Pedro betimi find that spark again playing for eye Chelsea Boboko with eye Kopama Chelsea game no was poor, especially in the attacking third. And for the win there, not Chelsea deserve it. They got the point, which was the most important thinking.
Well, Biggie, Mr. Basisia, your Bobby was with your free, but I'm already facing on the 18th. Say they can't do any their teams, communities, do drawing na Ebeshase Abba, na Omabidi Diomon, Koma, Copin Timer on the 18th, the Jumadian Ebeshase, now on the 24th, yet me above final. That